What is up? What is up? Let me get my little thing up here. Bam. Bam. All right, cool. I'm going to keep it quick. I'm going to keep it clean. Probably will not be here too long. Let me stop this. Give me a second. I know the audio is going to start. I have YouTube open on another tab, so I'm waiting for the audio to start there so I can pause it. There it is. Cool. Done that. I needed to have that tab open so I could have that chat poll. I shouldn't probably be here long. I wanted to react to a reaction. Brother Clarence went on his channel. Let me show it to you. Boom. Share screen. Let me see. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. So, as you see, I don't know if I can blow that up any. The other day, just the other day, got a notification and I saw my name. Reacception. That's what's up. Yeah. I saw my name. I saw my face. And I'm like, what's going on? In my Simon voice, what's going on? So I finally was able, because Sunday is family day for me. So Sunday, I actually went to church with my mother. Second Sunday, I go to church with my mother. I did my family time. I didn't probably get finished with everything until about 9 p.m. and I was able to sit back and watch with Brother Clarence. Because, I saw my name, saw my face. And again, he did that before. He had just done that. Let me see. What's that? Videos. I might have to click on his name. Give me a second. Give me a second. Live streams. All right, cool. So we got Rashawn said, what? Okay, cool. This is the stream we did together. They co-streamed. I made the link shareable. And then boom, Rashawn takes a hiatus. Now, again, when he did that, when I saw my face, saw my name on the notification, I had no idea he was doing that. So, it was cool. I went ahead and popped up because I was free that day. But yesterday, I had no idea that he was doing it. And again, I saw my face and my name. And I wanted to clip Marlo. My name is my name. So I looked at it. And we're going to look at pieces of it. We are going to look at pieces of it because I did want to bring up a couple of things. What is up, Mrs. She Said? I know this is typically the time when you we be chit-chatting and you be doing some stuff around, getting stuff ready for the family. So, be around for a little minute today. Probably be here for about an hour. Unless something pops up. I can drop the link if anybody wants the link and want to chop it up about anything, including the Jesus conversation or whatever. But keep my dime name out your effing mouth. Now, hold up. Do I still have that?
Keep my name out your fucking mouth.
Okay, so again, I ain't got no problem with Brother Clarence. Brother Clarence, name dropping. That's cool. I just wasn't expecting it. But there was a couple things in here that he said that, they got me a little triggered, and I wanted to react to it. Now, here's the first one. It came up first, and it kind of shocked me. I was shocked when I heard this, so I want y'all to hear it too.
He said on another panel, right? Mr. He said brought that question out. Hey, look, if you guys had a time machine, would you go back and kill Hitler? Baby Hitler, rather. He didn't say Hitler. He said baby.
Let me drop that. Hitler.
Right? And so that's how this all got started.
We don't need the high quality. We just need the audio, really.
Okay. So then, of course, Arshawn said,
oops.
No, I wouldn't get Hitler. I'd get Jesus as a baby. Yeah, right?
I would.
Okay. I know a lot of y'all Christians was like, you pulling out your hair, right? Those of y'all that got here, right? Because that's that's a little out of pocket, right? A little disrespectful. But yeah, definitely that's how he felt, right? And so shout to Don Frank. But yeah, definitely that's how he felt, right? Out of pocket, right? Because that's that's
man,
a little out of pocket, right?
This thing's gonna kill me. Let me close that for now. Let me close this other tab, see if that helps. I tell you. I was hoping this computer would be able to handle sharing a daggone video, but man, it is just acting a fool today. So we'll see how long this computer got on it.
He said on another panel, right? Mr. He said brought that question up. Hey, look,
What up, Quantum?
if you guys had a time machine, would you go back and kill Hitler? Baby Hitler, rather. He didn't say Hitler. He said baby Hitler. Right? And so that's how this all got started. Okay. So then, of course, Arshawn said, no, I wouldn't get Hitler.
Ooh.
I'd get Jesus as a baby.
I did.
Right? Okay. I know a lot of y'all Christians was like, you're pulling out your hair, right? Those of y'all that got here, right? Because that's that's a little out of pocket, right? A little disrespect.
We got to what I wanted to hear anyway for the most part. We'll see what's going on with this thing. But it's a little out of pocket and a little disrespectful. I wanted to address that because like Jordan, when I heard it, I took that personally. I took that personal. Out of pocket? Disrespectful? Okay. So I get what he could possibly have been saying. Possibly. But I want to point out a couple of things. While also finding out what you guys want to see next, because people did say they wanted to do a part 2 of the conversation. But also, as viewers, or if y'all care, there's a poll. And then y'all can say what y'all want to see next. Because, it's really up to y'all. Because again, I've only been streaming after I said I was done because people said they wanted to have these other conversations. I'm always down for a conversation. There's nothing that will keep me from having an interesting conversation. I don't care what I said. If it's an interesting conversation to be had, I want to be a part of it. But let me see. Share the screen. This isn't a video, so it should play. Okay. I already had a screen share. I'm having a moment. Having a senior moment. All right, cool. Come on. Boom! Disrespect. Because see, we use a lot of words. And I found, because this goes back to the whole Jesus thing too. We use words, and there's a turns of phrase that we use. When it comes to the Bible, or like even like the Constitution and law in the United States of America, people will say like there's the spirit of the law, and then there's the letter of the law. The letter of the law is the most literal, concrete understanding of the way the sentence or the verbiage is structured. That's the letter of the law. This says, thou shalt not kill. That means thou shalt not kill, period. No killing is permitted. Then there's the spirit of the law. What was intended when they said what they said. So like one of my favorite movies, 12 Angry Men, there was a point where, they were deliberating over a murder. And the guy said he got so worked up in the jury room with the other jurors that he was like, I'll kill you. And the guy was like, did you really mean that? Context differentiates between the letter of the law. What he said was, I will kill you, which is a threat to your life. The spirit of the law is he was angry and wanted to convey his anger in a threatening way, but had no intention of killing him in clear view of 12 other people and a cop. There was a cop right outside the door. That wasn't his true letter of the law intention. And I think we need to understand the difference between letter of the law, spirit of the law. We also need not just the law, words. We need to understand the clear definition of a word. And when somebody uses a word, what does it mean in context? Greetings, peace, joy, and grace in abundance. Brother Vaughn Bryant, good to see you. Good to see you. So it was said that I was disrespectful in sharing my opinion. Now, I would have to ask what expressly was disrespectful and what was out of pocket. But that's what was said. So I am bringing this to you. The word disrespect as a verb, to lack special regard or respect for, or to show or express disrespect or contempt. Now, as a noun, there's a difference between a verb, because a verb is an action word. That means I'm doing something. Like, I am disrespecting you. I am doing something to you that lacks special regard. Again, words matter. Lacks special regard, regarding something specially, or to express contempt for. Contempt is another word we might have to look up if we want to go down a chain of understanding. But the noun is important. Is what I was doing disrespectful? Is the concept itself disrespectful? Does it show low regard or esteem for someone or something? Now, for me, this is the way I interpret. This is a spirit of the law conversation. Chef Shapino, what is up, man? Appreciate you. Now listen. If I am going to build a time machine, all right, which nobody knows how to do at this point in life. Nobody knows how to build a time machine. Lady Navo, hello, hello. I am theoretically building a time machine to go back in time to kill somebody who's already been killed. All right, this person's already been murdered. Already murdered. They've been murdered. The whole crux of the argument is that this person was murdered for people's sins, and that granted them salvation through the power of his resurrection. He's already been murdered. All I'm doing, theoretically, is inventing a time machine and killing him sooner. I would have to do something, first of all, right now that's impossible. I would have to go out of my way to want to bend time and space to do said activity that at current is impossible. That's not low regard. That's highly regarding something. I'm putting my life at stake to do something that's impossible. That's not low regard. The word disrespect as a noun, the concept of disrespect, that's not low regard. There's somebody that's already being murdered, and I'm saying that the outcome and the impact that they had on the world is so outsized that I have to stop them sooner than people did. I have to not let him get as far as that's high regard. Maybe we don't know what these words mean. That's saying he's more important than people thought. He had to be stopped sooner. That's not low regard. That's high regard. Now, if you find it offensive, cool. I get that. But that's an extreme amount of respect. If somebody is going out of their way to stop you from doing something, they're showing a lot of respect. Now, I think what maybe the word of people are trying to reach for is deference. It's not deference, for sure. Absolutely. But is it disrespectful? Is it out of pocket? No, not by the definition of the word, which is what we're using. Why say the word if we don't know what it means? That's a lot of regard. That's a lot of consideration. I'd have to devote my life to do something that no other man has done to accomplish this. That's extremely high regard. Not low regard at all. That's not low esteem at all. I'm saying that person is that important that I'd have to do that. That's not disrespect. I'm actually saying that his life is more important than mine because I have to dedicate my life to get rid of his. That's crazy. That's high regard. That's not a lack of respect. I think, guys, sometimes we need to stop. We need to stop and just read. Just read a little bit. We need to read a little bit more than we do. To show or express disrespect, which as the noun, it's not what I did. To lack special regard or respect for. I had special regard for him. That's extremely special. To want to build a time machine because somebody's impact is so great that I think to change the amount of impact, I'd have to bend time and space. That's special regard. That's not disrespect. Now, I'm not deferring to him, no, because if I'm willing to murder somebody, that's not deference, obviously. So maybe deference is a better word. But again, I really want us to pay more attention to the words we're using because it was never disrespectful. It was never out of pocket. And it's also my opinion. It's also my opinion. my opinion, which he went on to say in the clip. Again, my computer is what it is. I'm unlikely to build a time machine if I can't build a computer that can handle streaming YouTube in StreamYard. You know what I'm saying? So we also have to put these things in context. It's not out of pocket or disrespectful to build a time machine to kill somebody that's already been killed when you can't build a computer that can handle the stream to say such a thing. So I just wanted to make sure that I got that clarified, because when I'm surprised by notifications with my face and hearing that I'm disrespectful and out of pocket by people that had me in their presence that could have told me I was disrespectful and out of pocket, it makes me feel away. It makes me feel away. I get offended. But again, I wanted to do it playfully, a little trolly. That's why the thumbnail is what it is. Because, yeah, he's a master baiter. He baited me. He baited me so hard. He baited me so hard, man. I saw my face. I saw my name. I heard I was disrespectful and out of pocket. And I'm like, what? Drake? So, yeah. I got no beef with Brother Clarence at all. But I did want to clarify that point. There's two other points that I wanted to clarify in this stream. I don't know that my computer will handle it because I'm pouring all of my resources into building this time machine. Okay? I want you guys to be very clear. I'm building this time machine. So I can't put energy into fixing this laptop so that I can stream YouTube into StreamYard effectively because I have to build this time machine, guys. This time machine. It's the most important thing that's happened in my life. I didn't even know it was possible, but it's become so serious. It's become so serious.
Right? Even Jesus has been weaponized, right? God.
Let's see if this will play.
So, this joy that he's what Arshawn was meaning to say, in my opinion, was that.
Here we go.
I know what he means to say. I know what he means.
Oh no! No, you don't.
Love.
No, you don't. Joy. Don't.
Okay.
Okay, this is the part we talking about Jesus spreading joy to the children. And I was like, nah, we don't need Jesus spreading any joy to the children. Don't spread any joy. There's enough that kids come with their own joy. They manufacture joy. Kids are joy centers. They're joy centric. They find joy. They make joy. They're joyful. We don't need no grown man spreading joy to the children. We got enough of that. We don't need any more of that. And he's like, I know what he meant to say, because there's people that are messing with the kids, but using Jesus' name like priests and stuff. No, I'm talking, if Jesus were here in 2023, our sensibilities and culture has shifted. If there's a grown man proclaiming to be Jesus with the nail holes in his head, I still don't want kids on his lap. I don't care if he's the son of God or not. I don't want kids on his lap. I don't want him spreading joy. I don't. Let the kids be the kids. Let them be over there. This ain't the BCE era. This ain't the end. It's now. I don't want no grown man especially in a religious sector, especially the religious sector. Forgive me again. I'm not a Christian. I especially don't want somebody proclaiming to be the son of God with children on his lap. I don't want it. I didn't mean somebody else. I meant Jesus. If Jesus were here, I don't want him having kids on. I don't want him spreading joy. I don't like the terminology. I don't like it. Now I know what you guys mean. Again, spirit of the law. You just mean making the children happy. I understand that. But I'm also in the 2023 frame of mind, which is what I was speaking from. I don't want anybody, son of Christ or otherwise, going around with random children. I don't trust anybody, including the Son of God, which is why I'm not a Christian, because I don't trust that individual or entity. So I appreciate that you wanted to clarify on my behalf, but I meant exactly what I said. I meant exactly what I said and how I came across. Yeah, man, I got a box Chevy instead of a DeLorean. Yeah, it's janky. It's real janky. Risa Neal in the building. Risa Neal. And on to the last point. This is the last one, because I appreciate that he clarified this part. If it'll even play. I got it to the lowest setting.
The theory was, if this is why you're doing it, because I'm trying to explain, and it goes based on what I was explaining.
Yes. Anyway,
his theory was,
let this play.
Why would a God be so dumb as to put a tree of good and evil in front of him? Yellow, I think, at the same position. Why would a God be so dumb as to put a tree of good and evil right in the middle of everything so they could have access to it?
Didn't get any alert because your hands are probably busy.
And expect them not to fall victim to the tree, right?
Dumb God. Ooh, that was a big thing. Let me go ahead. Ooh, dumb God was a big thing. Man, dumb God was a big thing. Let me stop sharing that because that's not working today. I might have to put my the other RAM cards back in if I'm going to try to use this computer. But dumb God really got people hot. I wasn't calling dumb God. I clarified that. What's up, touching the wires in the building and Summer Miss Pies. Twin, what up, twin? Hopefully we can twin again because, I ain't had no twin. Everybody got a twin but me. Anyway, let me see. Let me find this video. I want to go back to I want to see what the poll is. Give me a second. Boo. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Do. Your hands are free. Hey, listen. But Brother Clarence is definitely a master baiter. Because I saw my name and face again. I was like, not again, guys. Not again. Why? So you know what? We just want to give everybody a dose of seeing their name and face. Okay. So right now it's at 42% of reaction to the Jesus stream. So, okay. So what I'll do then, I'm going to get some timestamps. I'm going to pull timestamps and I'm going to go through, because again, I didn't even really get into my notes. I've got a ton of notes that I didn't even get into. I have because see, now we want to talk about disrespectful. See, it's hilarious because when I'm having these conversations, y'all just don't know. I'm actually being my good self. Like that was my good self. The good self is what triggered people. The bad self is the one that wanted to say that Christians are simps and pygmies. Like I have and I have an explanation. It's not even just I'm not even saying that to be provocative. I have like the concepts of, what the terminology simps and pygmies mean. I've broken it down. Like it matches up. Christians are simps and pygmies. Like to the definition of how we use those words. And again, I have that in my notes. I can clarify it. It's reasoned and thought out. I promise you. I'm not one of those people to say stuff just to be provocative, but that's there. I didn't really get into my notes. I didn't even get into the different things that, like, I mentioned like 20 of the reasons, like things that came out from Jesus, not from himself, his followers, his people that believe in him. It's hard for me to understand why it's so hard to see all of the atrocities committed from people that stem from him and not be like, well, maybe there's a problem at the root of it. Because I have had a good interaction. Like it's that thing when they talk about in the Black community, like my son was a good boy. Like he murdered 3 people and you don't want the cops handling him rough because he was a good boy. It's not a perfect analogy. I'm just saying there's something in the mind. It's like all this tragedy can stem from the concepts and name of this individual. Okay, a better analogy. Business, Coca-Cola, brand name, known worldwide. If somebody here in the United States or another country starts manufacturing something called Coca-Cola, and it's found to be harmful, people are getting sick and dying from this Coca-Cola, but it's not the bottling and manufacturing of the Coca-Cola here in the United States. They would take action to stop the people who are using their name, their likeness to sell product that is harmful to other people. They will go through any legal means possible to stop it, would not allow it. That's just on the premise of money. That's just on the basis of money, finances. That's what a business would do. Why then would a group of people who espouse that this is the central catalyst for life and creation, the system and structure that's going to provide permanent life and living for souls after they die here on earth, something much more important than Coca-Cola, we could allow so many atrocities to be committed in that name. If even a group, a body of people like Coca-Cola, any other name. I've seen call outs for toothpaste. Look out for toothpaste from China. It's a fake. You could get sick. I've seen stuff like that. So if business can do that, why? And I'm not even trying to lump. Let's forget all Christians. Let's just say an organized body of Christianity, like a singular church. The Roman Catholic Church, which has a pope, they have a head, they have a system, they have a hierarchy. Why not even them? Are they not as vocal as a business is about denouncing some of these things? The Catholic Church specifically shuffled priests around who were spreading joy to children. So even those organized bodies that profess God and Christ as salvation have a problem here with the spirit of the law, with the spirit of righteousness. That's where my premise comes from. That's why I have the problem. So I'll do the breakdown. Something with Brianna? Okay. So actually, I don't know. We got 13 votes. More people either want to see something with Brianna or a reaction to the Jesus stream more than part 2 of the biblical debate. Just as many people want me to go ahead and quit as want me to do the biblical debate. All right. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool. That's interesting. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that. But there's problems with the logic. There's problems with the logic. If something goes around using my name, and it's even baked into the Bible. It's even baked into the Bible. Even the Bible says in Matthew 7, people will fool you. They'll come to you saying, Lord, Lord. Like, I mean, I think it might be Matthew. I might be messing that one up. I'm not one of those persons that remember scripture and verse, because Google can help me go right to it. I don't need to retain the chapter and verse because I can Google it. But they said people will be like, Lord, Lord, and I don't know you. I don't know who you are. And they'll come in sheep's clothing. Wolves will come in sheep's clothing. There's verses where the Bible says people will come and they'll fool the believers. They'll fool the flock. They'll come with false pretenses, and nobody will even know that they're fake. Nobody will know that they're fraudulent. Judge them by their fruit. That's how you'll know the difference between the righteous and the non-righteous who say my name anyway. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to tell the right from the wrong. There's got to be a way. And if everybody's okay with people doing wrong in Jesus' name, it's hard for me to see the righteous, because everybody lets it happen. If everybody's okay letting all this Jesus, everybody was so adamant. Why are we blaming Jesus? Why would we blame Jesus? You can't hold Jesus accountable. That's what he said on his stream. How could you hold Jesus accountable for what his followers do? That's what everybody does. That's what everybody does. People have held me accountable for stuff on the panel. People have held me accountable for stuff on the chat. That's what happens. You handle what happens on the lower level, but it comes from leadership. One of the other things that Brother Clarence said is, well, then you got to go to the CEO. Jesus is the vice president. That means you're negating the Holy Trinity. Is Jesus God or is he not? Because if he's the vice president, that means he's wholly separate from God. And that means not his salvation, because I don't think he's a Christian. That will bring salvation into question. If he's not fully God and man like we've been taught, so he's not vice president, he's the president. He's just showed up. That's undercover boss. Jesus was undercover boss. That's all that was. But he was still the CEO. That's all it was. He was God on earth. So handling Jesus would be handling the CEO, not the vice president. What's up, Danique Anthony? Appreciate you. Do the second part, but do it alone. Okay. That's interesting. All right. Well, listen. I mean, we got 13 votes. That's a decent little 13 people watching, 13 votes. Appreciate all y'all's feedback. So the next two things I'll do then. I'll do a reaction stream. I'm going to get timestamps. I'm going to go through in timestamp points. I will clip it so that I don't have this computer issue where I try to play YouTube and it doesn't play. I'll clip it out. So I have clips to play that are already preloaded in the StreamYard, so it should play without much effort. So I'll put that legwork in for you. I'll put that legwork in for you. So if that's what you guys want to see, I'll put the work in to make sure it's presentable and in order. We'll do that. Then the next thing I'll see what time Bree, because Bree's really trying to hone in and focus on her business. So man, please go support Kawaii for the culture. I know y'all really haven't to this point, but if y'all can, if y'all would, you know what I'm saying? Everybody talks about support black businesses, support each other, and black people never stick together. Well, we got somebody doing something that's positive. It's unique. It's creative. It's colorful. It's something that you can maintain. It's not like you're throwing money at a channel that can disappear tomorrow, like I be doing. It's a product that you get to take home and wear or carry. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, dude? Show some love. Show some love. KawaiiForTheCulture.com. I have ordered it back. There you go. Thank you, Renee. Thank you. Appreciate you. So, man, show love to the people we got while we got them. Yeah, man, she's dope. She just did a collab with this lady named Cookie Kawaii. A bag and a t-shirt, drop bundle, both of them. And again, she designs everything herself. So it's not even like she's grabbing designs from other where she designs a lot of her own merch. So, I mean, support. It's dope stuff. If I wasn't as fat as I was, I would have a bunch more of her stuff. I mean, so some of the stuff is fly, but I can't fit none of it. I got 2 Puffy Cat sweatshirts, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't about to be walking around with Puffy Cat to too many places. I mean, on my shirt. Embroidered on my shirt. Anyway. Jit. So reacting to the Jesus stream. I'll get that done this week, y'all. I'll get that handled this week. And then I'll get Brian Yella in on something too. Can I put a link in the chat? Yeah, I know, because I took all my mods because I thought I was done. I know, that's on me. That's on me. I took all the mods because I thought I was done. Just when I thought I was out, they put me back in. All right. Yeah, but I'm open to conversations. I know somebody else for the culture.com. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, it's coming. The sweatshirts go up to 5X. No excuses. Yes, that's why I got 2 of them. I got the big boy sweatshirts. But man, she got this is windbreaker I want. It don't come that big. Can't see the poll. Now I can't help that. I don't make YouTube. You might have to hit refresh. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it change. I'm still seeing it change. So yeah. Also, anybody else that might catch this, anybody that's seen the conversations about Jesus, I know a couple people hit me up, but like I want to see y'all have conversations with your group of people that you're most comfortable with. Like I know, like a couple people wanted to come up on the panel that don't come up over here. Like Bolo don't be over here, but he wanted to come up. And Cat of Truth was looking for the link. He don't be over here. Like Cat of Truth is really like not triggering, but he likes saying like controversial. He likes going real hard. Like he goes real hard. We're trying to have a real conversation. Like no offense, Cat of Truth, but a lot of times he's not really trying to have a real conversation. A lot of times he's just really trying to be like lambastic. He's just really going for it. Everything's shooting for the moon. Every comment shooting for the moon. Harriet Tubman looks like Elmer Fudd in a skirt, and it'd be funny. But again, I wanted to make sure we had a real conversation that wasn't too preachy. So you know what I'm saying. So on your platforms, y'all don't. This ain't my concept. Brother, he said, asked me the question about Hitler. I was like, I wouldn't get Hitler. I would get Jesus. Take the thought experiment to wherever you be at and ask your people and have that conversation. Like, would you? Somebody hit me up about a debate about it, but I don't know because I'm not even sure about a part 2. I see y'all aren't as interested in a part 2, which kind of shocked me because I thought I enjoyed myself. So the fact that y'all don't even really want a part 2, that's interesting. That's interesting. Is anybody bold enough to tell me why? Is anybody old enough? Not old enough. Is anybody bold and open enough to publicly tell me why they would rather have me react to the Jesus stream and then something with Brian Yella, and then part 2 is actually down there. We're just quitting already. Like we just as much rather see you go than have a part 2. That's kind of shocking to me. That's shocking to me because people was watching. But I don't know. I need to know what y'all thinking because that's completely shocking to me. But I'll make sure I get timestamps, clips, everything we need, and I'll react to it. And you know, Yella's here, so I'll get a Yella on with something, yeah, and I'll see what time Bree got, and we'll get something done for sure. because the juice is worth the squeeze. Listen, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So, man, we got to, there's a lot going on, y'all. Nope, Vaughn holds the powder. Your list is here. Yeah, I'm still sad that I'm no longer blue. I know. I thought I was done. So listen, as long as there's a conversation to be had, I like conversation. If it's interesting, I'm willing to have it. And that's the last thing. I want to hear what Yella got to say, but that's another thing I wanted to point out. And this is not a direct shot, but I understand that this is a grenade and people are going to catch some shrapnel. Because I know I talked about it with Brother Vaughn, so everybody's going to assume I'm talking about Brother Vaughn. But I'm not talking about Brother Vaughn. I'm talking about this concept because it came up in something else. I was having a phone call with somebody. Open-mindedness, because people talk about the way I handle my platform or other conversations and how I can handle it different than other people. It's because I actually am open-minded. Like there's a difference between open-minded and being willing to have a conversation. Your mind has to be open to a thought that it doesn't currently hold to be truly open-minded. Like if you're like, no, I wouldn't even entertain this thought, then you don't have an open mind. Like if somebody, like when Conscious and Reckless was here, if they were over here and they were like, yeah, have you ever considered sex with a guy? I'm like, no. Well, what do you think would happen if if the guy did this to you? I could consider it without wanting it. That's an open mind. It's not something I want. It's not something I consider. But if somebody proposed it, I could think about it legitimately without thinking that they were trying to hit on me or without thinking that they were trying to talk me into it. I could just consider it like mentally. Because like, and we've done this. I think I did it on Yellow's panel. I'm like, man, I just don't want to see no dude's hairy butt or it just. But I actually thought about it. But it evokes feelings of like it bothers me. So I know it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? But I considered it. I thought about it. I allowed my mind to expand in that direction. If you cannot allow your mind to expand in a direction like, why don't we wake up and kill Jesus tomorrow? You're not open to it. That's okay to not be open to it. It's okay to say something is so beyond what I've drawn the line here. I've drawn a line here. I won't even allow myself to entertain a thought that grows past that line. It's okay. It doesn't make you less of a person to set a standard. It's okay to not be open-minded to everything. Some people are susceptible to certain types of ideas, to certain types of things that they might ingest. So you don't ever want to introduce them. And that's okay. That doesn't make you less of a person. So again, it's not a shot. I actually respect people that know where their boundaries are, how far they can push themselves mentally, emotionally, physically, all of that stuff. So I wanted to try to clear that up too. Man, thank you. Red lipstick in the building. So yeah, Yellow, I saw you popped up, man. So what you got? What you got for us, Playboy?
I really ain't got shit. I seen you was up here sharing the video. I seen you was up here sharing the video. I was gonna come up and see if I can help, see if I could be the deacon. When you be like, read, deacon, and I could just play the, you know what I'm saying? And God say, and God, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Right. Read, Pastor. So if you wanna do that, I could help it out. See if it'll work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He'd be like, we're going to read from Ephesians 12:5. We're going to have Brother Rashawn read, and we're going to follow along. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just here to do that. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a time you wanted to start with the video.
Shags is in the building. What's up, man? Shit. I don't know. I kind of talked about it because there was only a couple points. He did a very short stream. It was only about an hour and a half. I think 20 minutes was talking about something else entirely anyway. So he really only talked about the stream for about an hour. And it was really those 3 points that the dumb guy. Let's go to the dumb guy thing. Because me and you both have that dumb guy thing. I know Brother Vaughn didn't appreciate it. And I know other people probably didn't appreciate it either. I was not calling your God Anybody who's hearing me, I wasn't calling your God dumb. I don't know what your God is. I don't know your scope of understanding of what God is. I don't know what you've read about God. I have no idea what's in your mind when you say God. Going back to somebody I haven't mentioned on a while on this channel, Jordan Peterson. He says that God is the highest concept in your mind. So, which is why even in church, somebody will be like, you don't believe in God enough for your healing, but somebody else is over there getting healed. You don't believe in God enough because y'all have two different standards and expectations for God, which means one of y'all has more of a God in your mind. One of y'all has a God that can expand and do more. One has more capability. You have more trust in. There's different levels to what you can conceive of, how big your faith is, what your belief is, how big your concept of. That's a personal, internal thing. So each of y'all, believe it or not, has a different God. One of y'all does not accept the God that had the earth swallow people, that didn't have anything to do with what these men that offended God had done, but their whole families got swallowed up. Some of y'all don't accept that version of God. That's not y'all's God. Some of y'all's God is like that Ricky Bobby clip I had, where y'all like the sweet baby Christmas Jesus God. Y'all have a very tender cherub God. Some of y'all have that personal friendship God. We talk every day. I'm on the phone. I'm on the main line with Jesus 5 times a day. We always in constant communication. Some of y'all got a Sunday only God. Sunday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., whatever time it is for you. All of y'all have different gods. So if I say, even if I did say explicitly, God is dumb, which God am I referencing? The Hindu God, the Abrahamic God, the Muslim God, Allah. Which God am I talking about? See, God is a title, not a name. God is a title, not a name. The God of the Bible had several names, none of which was God. God is a title. It's like saying mom. If I say mom is dumb, which mom am I talking about? We all have a mom. Until I put a name on it. Your mama, you, then you can get offended when I say mom is dumb, because I done said it's your mama with the red hat, smoking the weed on camera, with the white headphones and the gray hoodie. Your mama. Then he can get offended.
She do be tripping sometimes, though. She do be tripping.
Yeah. So even if I do say God is dumb, even if I explicitly said that, you'd have to know what God I'm talking about, because the God of my conception might be dumb, because maybe I have a limited thinking capacity for what God could possibly be. God is as dumb as I am. But again, that shouldn't offend anybody, because that's my limitation. That's my opinion. There is very little reason to get offended, or to even like say it's disrespectful for somebody to assert, like to say their opinion out loud. There's very little reason. Even when Jesus talked about it, like, because you got to think about like the Great Commission of the Bible. He said, "Go ye into all the world. Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel," which means you're going to places where they don't already believe what you believe. Everything they're going to say and think and believe before you get there, including their language, their religion, is going to be antithetical to what you're bringing. It's going to be different. Their culture is going to be different. The language, the way they do commerce, the way they do, way they wash their clothes, because maybe you used to go to the lake, they go to the river. Everything is going to be different. And you're still supposed to be able to explain what you've heard, what you felt, what you believe, what your experience is to these people that have a dissimilar lifestyle, understanding, and experience. Some of them are going to be like Jesus himself with the Samaritan at the well. There's no finer example than Jesus of speaking to people who don't agree with Jesus. He did not get offended. He just related to her and her life. And that's what you would have to do with the Great Commission. You have to learn about the people that you're talking to and reach them where they are. That's said in church 1,000,000 times. Reach them where they are. It's not on the person that's being reached out to do the work, to do the labor. So I know Brother Clarence said if there's a higher expectation on us. Yes. If you are the person doing the outreach, you have to reach out. It's not for the other person that you're reaching out to do the reaching, because you're doing outreach. So you got to put yourself out there, and putting yourself out there is uncomfortable and vulnerable. Yes, there's a higher standard on you. If that's what you think you're supposed to do, if that's who you think you are, there is a higher standard and expectation. The Bible says it. So then I wonder, what book has everybody been reading? What book are they reading? Because even Jesus said, if they don't listen to you after you try to tell them, dust your sandals off and move on. And I don't know.
Dust your sandals off and try again. Dust your sandals off and try again.
I don't know. So I know, again, I got triggered because there was a masturbator, who used my name and likeness, NIL violation, used my name and likeness, and then said I was disrespectful and out of pocket. And again, I just wanted to respond to that, because in no way, in my opinion, anybody that understands the spirit of the law, anybody that understands the spirit of the teachings of Christ could say that I was out of pocket on anything that I said, including Jesus, who entertained people who disagreed with him, who thought he was wrong, who fed the person that was going to betray him while saying that you're going to betray me. You're going to get me killed. Let's eat. That's Jesus. Even Jesus would have ate with me if I'm trying to kill him. How are we so more highly offended than the Christ that everybody says that they serve? So I get that these conversations are sensitive, but I don't understand the sensitivity based upon the book that I read. And that's what made me decide I couldn't be a Christian, because the standard was too high. But then I hear Brother Clarence saying they put a higher standard on us. No, Jesus puts the standard on people that believe in him. He set the standard. Everybody says he's the example. What are we talking about? We can't have it both ways. We can't both want to prop up Jesus as the divine example of righteousness, and then also not read what he said or understand it, and then hold people to a standard we don't understand because we didn't read it, and then say that they're holding us too high of a standard. Where we can't make this stuff match up. Some of these things just don't go together. So I don't know. Based upon the poll, if nothing else, if y'all don't want to see a part 2, and I know people are sensitive about their religion. I get it. But it's your religion. It's your spirituality. Yours alone. Because nobody that sits in the pews next to you experiences the exact same thing you experience. If you even sit in the pew, we don't even know if you show up at church. We don't know that. I don't even think Brother Clarence specifically is a Christian. I think he might be Muslim. So all of this stuff confuses me. It confuses me because I don't understand where people set their baseline at. We use these words. We use these words like, I don't know, casually, flippantly. I'm not sure right now. I don't even know what word I want to use. But
I got a good word.
Go ahead.
I got a good word. Haphazardly.
Haphazardly. That's a good word. I would love another discussion. That's cool. Yeah, and see, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the conversation. I would enjoy another conversation. But I mean, it's just weird. It's interesting to see the conversation. I mean, the reaction. Takeaway. Jesus is to take away the validation Islam places on Muhammad. To take away Jesus is take away the validation Islam places on Muhammad. And the thing is, I didn't even walk it out to any kind of a useful step. Like I didn't do any, like at one point I was thinking about doing like a timeline. Like if this, then this. If Jesus is removed, then this doesn't happen, then this doesn't happen, then this. But because there's so much influence of Jesus, the concept of Jesus alone, whether he was real or not, just removing the concept of an unreal Jesus would throw everything into disorder. There are so many faith practices that stem from the concept of Jesus. Again, whether he was real or not, even if he was a total fraud, the stuff that has come from Jesus and the idea has taken, I mean, billions of lives right now are people that profess Christianity.
Yeah,
I would as well,
I see what
but
you're
I'll
saying.
rewatch it so I can skip around. Yeah, so I mean, it's an interesting thought concept, but it's like, man,
Like that. Like, I see what you're saying though, because like I wanted to kind of speak on that part.
Go ahead.
The idea of the one evolved from, if we just go look at it like what it is, the idea of the one had to evolve from the idea of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's why every religion has that one beneath the one.
Yeah.
Like it's the HDIC, head deity in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's his son or right hand man or chosen one or handpicked, or
There's something
right here, the Matrix. It even comes down to the storytelling now.
Mm-hmm.
How it's always just that one. It's always that one in one. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Whole team of mutants and aliens and biologically, but it was the one member who was able to hold the Soul Stone. I mean the Infinity Stone. It was only one. That's how they got out of the first movie. It always comes down to that one. Who is that one? So yeah, if you take that story or that dynamic out of the equation, I think a lot of shit changes. A lot of shit changes.
Absolutely. And to be clear, like I said earlier, but everybody didn't hear it, I have no beef with Brother Clarence, and I did get an email from you. Absolutely, I understand. I don't know if you want me to say what you said, but it's cool. I just wanted to come against the idea, again, not you, the idea that it was disrespectful or out of pocket. Because if anything I got from reading the Bible is that Jesus met all challenges. Anything anybody thought they could say to counter what he thought or believed, he flipped it. He was able to flip it. And I think it might have been somewhere in Peter where it says, like, always be prepared with an answer. Like, we have to. And I think Brother Vaughn said this during the stream on Saturday. If I don't hear people that are different, that believe differently than I do, then how can I even have an effective witness? I think that was what Brother Vaughn said. I could be wrong, but I think Brother Vaughn had brought that up Saturday. If you can't hear and understand, you can't even counter like whatever I combat Christianity with. Like, what is that? Be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. You have to know what the serpent strike is like. What's his range? How deadly is the venom? You have to know everything that would oppose you to overcome it, but with the harmlessness of a dove. Again, all this is scriptural stuff. Like, this is the stuff I learned from reading the Bible, that's what gets me the most. And again, not specific to this group, because most of my issues with Christianity comes from my real life. The stuff on here, I don't know how anybody lives in their real life here. So I can't judge anybody here about your faith and your Christianity because I don't see you practice it. The Christians I've seen practice on the daily, I've seen some of the most vile, hypocritical stuff, even some of the stuff that happens in the church, like the disrespect, like blatant disrespect, like calling people out their name, trying to embarrass people publicly, like that kind of thing, that kind of hurtful, neglectful stuff I've seen people do. Pastors, first ladies. Now it's my uncle by marriage, and I'm not even trying to like throw dirt on, because it just shocked me. it was some kind of a controversial meeting before church, or we were having, it was some kind, I don't even know what it was. I just know it was a heavy topic. It wasn't a preaching. It was just like a town hall in the church. It was a town hall in the church. And it was something that I knew, it was somebody was going to get triggered. It was something that I know this conversation, kind of like I'm going to kill Jesus with my time machine. I knew somebody was going to get hot. So I said to him, Pastor, as a non-Christian, this is what I said. Before we get started, because this is such a sensitive topic, can we set the tone with the word of prayer? You know what the pastor said? I know what I'm doing. And then went into the topic anyway. And then nobody felt comfortable diving into the sensitive topic. Because as a leader, in my opinion, and it's my opinion, so take it or leave it. It's nobody's under my leadership to have to take my opinion. A leader sets the tone. And if you know you're walking into something heavy, something that's going to make people less likely to share, you have to make extra efforts to make it approachable for people. Which is why somebody had asked me probably to have the conversation on my channel. They thought maybe I fostered an environment that it might be more conducive to the conversation. That's a reputation I've heard reflected back to me from several people. Leadership has a cost. Being a Christian is a place of leadership by virtue of saying that I'm going against what the majority and the world wants. I'm stepping out ahead of and apart from peculiar people set apart. I'm stepping out on faith without evidence, because that's what faith is. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So you haven't seen it, and it's just a hope. But you're going to choose to hinge your life on these principles that you believe are going to benefit you and the world around you. And this is going to get you into a place of permanent relationship with God. That's a place of leadership just by the virtue of everything that it means. Because people that don't believe in a system that has eternal life in it, somebody brought up the eternal life factor. I'm negating eternal life by negating Jesus. If you believe that your way is the way to eternal life, you're going to have more, existence than everybody else. You're going to be here. You're going to experience more. You're going to see more. You're going to learn more. You're going to do more than everybody else. If you really believe this stuff, all of these things make you a leader in some virtue, because leadership is not just one thing. Leadership is competence. You can be a leader by your competence. You can be a leader by the authority that you carry. You can be a leader by your title. You can be a titular leader, you can be in name only. I am the CEO, but I don't do anything. I sit in my office and I go and play golf. Everybody knows that you don't do anything. The person under you runs everything. There are levels to leadership. Some of it is like proximal. Spatial leadership. If I am stationed in front of somebody, I am in the lead. So leadership, we have to think about it, because these words have meaning. They have definitions. And then they also have a context, connotation, denotation. These words mean things. So leadership is not just one thing. I feel like people, man. Anyway, this just brought up a lot of feelings in me when I saw it, and I was like, man, he's a master baiter. Like, he baited me. He got me. You got me, Brother Clarence. You got me. So you got me. And the people have spoken. We got about 16 votes. Most people want me to do a reaction to the Jesus stream. So this week, if I get it done tonight, if I get the timestamps done tonight and the clipping, I'll do the stream tomorrow. More than likely, it'll probably be Wednesday earlier, though, because I got to do a drop Wednesday night. It'll probably be tomorrow evening. Tomorrow after 5. Tomorrow around 5 p.m. So I'll try to do a reaction. I'll try to have it ready by tomorrow at 5 p.m. one way or another. Even if I got to put the RAM into my computer tonight or something, I'll figure it out. So I'll get that done tomorrow. I got some other stuff I got to do Thursday too. So tomorrow about 5. That'll be the main thing.
You're gonna put your what in your computer? That's inappropriate.
I'm gonna put my RAM chips into the computer.
Just trying to make sure.
Sucker. Now let me read this. I'm sorry. The beauty of it all is that everyone is entitled to their opinion and perspective. I appreciate the dialogue, and hopefully I was able to bring some. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Hey,
I'm glad.
Can I do say something before you move on though? I mean, after you finish,
sure.
You say what you're saying.
No, I was gonna say I'm glad that everybody was there, and that was it. That's all I was gonna say.
I was gonna say, like, people can have this conversation without it being hard feelings, right? So,
absolutely.
Right, just because it's content being made and people are doing streams and folks getting tagged, ain't no smoke.
Yeah,
I think that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no smoke. No nobody. Ain't no. We can have these conversations and do this. That's why I'm even willing to have these conversations, because I know that it can go left. That's why I mentioned it on the stream, that it was cool having the conversations, because everybody was level-headed. When nobody out here trying to make the other person not right or go viral or have a hot take. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, none. Right, Nick? None.
That was the one reason I was hesitant about like Catholic Truth. I'm like, man, if he come up here, he about to say something crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even need that.
And that's what I kind of stand with it, because that's the divide I see. Like, I don't want nobody to not feel like they are wrong for believing in what they believe in. Yeah. But you also got to be able to see the people who take the same thing that you think of and do bullshit with it. You know what I'm saying? And it all come from the same place. Now, if you can't see the way people are exploiting what you do, I think you got to start practicing more on what you got to be a little more flexible about what you're doing.
Yeah, got to turn them tables.
You got to be able to turn them tables, because it's not just the people that's working. It's not just the people that's saying the different things that's working against you. It's people that's saying the same thing that working. Okay, like for example, in this space, everybody know about the manosphere shit, and people that said dumb shit on streams talking about relationships and all that. The upsetting part for me is that some of that shit be true. The problem is a lot of the stuff y'all be talking about be true. It's just that everybody want to go viral. Everybody want to be right. Everybody want to have a point. Everybody want to get clipped. Everybody want the reaction. And there's a thin line between that, right? I get why we here, but then why are we here? I mean, for change and entertainment, because if y'all want to be entertained, I'm your man. I got you. What? Don't look at me.
Did I have a face? Did I have a face?
What you mean?
I mean, if I had a face on, ignore that. If I had a face on, I was thinking about something else.
I know I'm entertaining. Yeah. But no, I think that's because I come to that realization on why I left from over here, right? I had to kind of notice that no, people ain't trying to really fix shit. They just want to be seen and say the thing.
Yep.
Because it's a lot of knowledge. Because people start from a mustard seed of truth and blossom it into a tree of knowledge and lies and deception and pain. Because hold on. Because some people take their mustard seed and sprout it into a tree of knowledge and love, right? Mm-hmm. Some people do that. That's what I'm saying about here. Some people take that same knowledge and turn it and use it the other way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I like it. It's cool, but like that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's just me. Like you said, it's like you said the other day. It's a lot that I personally feel about it that I'll be trying to keep it to myself because that's what sparks up the oh, you don't read nothing or you ain't studied or what you talked about or how does the brain and the heart work. That's how that type of conversation comes to stack up because I was gonna tell you we got the fuel tank for the time machine. So we setting that up. We putting that on now. It's, Felipe and them got it in the back. They working on it.
So after the stream tomorrow, we can do that. Well, we got all the time in the world if we got the time machine working.
We got all the time in the world.
Handle that and then come back and do the stream.
Yeah.
Got
you. Yeah. So they
with the timeline corrected after we've yeeted Jesus.
Then we can come back with some evidence. Then we can come back with some proof. Make it feel better.
B9 what up? Yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say, man. So I definitely appreciate y'all. I will try to get that reaction. I'll try to get my stuff, the timestamped and everything tonight, and be ready tomorrow. Because there were lots of points that got left on the table, and I really got to give Von Erich back because he didn't even say who the person he would eliminate from the Bible was. He said he had somebody, but he didn't say. Yella had a thought who it might be. But we didn't give Von Erich's who he would get rid of. He threw Moses out there because he said Moses is where the law of death came into. But I can't blame Moses. He was handed it. He didn't ask for that.
Moses got through clean under the bus on
clean
Saturday.
under the bus. Clean under the bus. We got to give Von Erich back. I know some of you did want part 2 of the biblical debate, and they said she didn't misunderstood the poll. I guess because you can't pick multiples, you have to pick your favorite. So tomorrow I'll try to get the reaction stream to Jesus out. Now I got to see what Bree's schedule is like. She's doing some stuff, and I quit on her. So we'll see if she's even willing to be back and forth with me. So we'll find out. So we'll see. Yella's obviously he's here, so we just got to get Bree in. So we'll do that. We'll try to get those 2 because those are the highest in number on the poll. And then I'll try to get that part 2 of the biblical debate. I'll try to get the guys back together. Anybody that doesn't want it, because again, 12% of y'all said no, just quit. As many as people that said part 2. So anybody that wants me just to quit, go ahead and just hit the unsubscribe button. I appreciate the time that you did spend here, but if you don't want to see me anymore, and at least there's got to be at least 3 more conversations that people are looking for. At least, again, because I'm always here for a conversation. But I'm not going to be trying to curate content and I'm not going to be trying to do all that other stuff. But I'm always here for a conversation. Both of my computers will handle just a conversation, but the moment I try to do anything else, like Yella told me to do a poll, my old laptop, I tried to open up a new tab and do the poll. That's when my computer shut down during the stream. When you was like, no, I'm trying to get him to do a poll. When I got the poll up, my computer went down. That's what happened. That's when I was gone. So my old computer can't handle nothing.
That was the sign. We shouldn't have even been talking about that shit. I told y'all it was slowly making me believe. Everybody kept dropping off. I had little signal issues in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Be a sign, y'all.
Yeah. So then that was that. My new computer can handle streaming just fine. I can probably bring in a document or something or a poll. That's fine. But if I try to share a video, you saw I was kind of catching it. Even if I put it down to 144p, it wouldn't play without skipping. So what I'll do is I'll dice some stuff up. I'll have some clips and have them loaded into StreamYard or something. I'll figure it out. So we'll do that probably tomorrow at 5 p.m. Yeah, B9, go ahead and rewind and catch up. It's a reaction to a reaction. It's reacception. So it's reacception. We had that conversation on Saturday. Brother Clarence kind of reacted to it, and then I reacted to his reaction. So we have to see if he reacts to my reaction, his reaction to the original. We'll see. We'll see how far it goes, man. I do appreciate the gentlemen. I'm fond of and respect all of them, but I felt a little triggered. I saw name, image, likeness. I saw my name and face on something. Then I heard I was disrespectful and out of pocket. But he said You know, he can understand how people felt that way, which I get. A lot of people get triggered. And I've also explained during this stream why nobody should be getting offended. Nobody should get offended because that's actually the call. You've got to go out there and talk to people that adamantly disagree with you. If you are a believer in Christ, that's what the Great Commission is. You got to go talk to people that adamantly disagree. And you got to be prepared with an answer for your hope and faith in Christ. You got to be able to explain it. And the part of that was to be able to walk off afterwards. No harm, no foul. Dust your stuff off. Get to walking. Go to the next place. Go to where they receive you. Keep moving. That's all part. And that's in the Bible. That's not even me. That's not me trying to deflect. That's what the Bible. That's what I learned that from the Bible because I read it. Like I read it. I was reading it last night. Like I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, that's it for me, man. Anything you what you about to do? You about to go game?
I don't know. I don't know, nigga. I don't know.
Oh, shoot. I asked you too fast. That's my bad.
That's a legit answer. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do.
Yeah, so y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start time stamping now and start working on that stuff so that way I can be ready by tomorrow. And I will see y'all tomorrow at 5, where I will react to the Saturday stream. I will at that time I will have reached out to Bree to find out what day she might be available, so I can at least give you a day and time where me, Bree, and Yella can do something. Of which topic we'll have to figure out. And then the third thing will be the biblical debate, because I've got to reach out to all the gentlemen, all the other five apostles, and I've got Yella here, so I can ask him. But I have to get the other 4 apostles and find out when they are ready to have that discussion. What day is best? I don't want to do Saturday again because that's actually cerebral time. That's why I had Mr. He said here for sure. Like, man, if we're going to stream during his time, let's have him here. That way he can stream it to his channel because his fan base is used to seeing him. So like let's get him in on it too, since he started. Just come all the way back. Now I can't come all the way back. Let me tell you, because all the way back means I'm trying to produce content. I'm trying to come every week on a schedule. I can't see that. I can't see me doing that. So when there's something to talk about, you'll see me. When there's nothing to talk about, you won't see me. Kind of like Jesus. Anyway, should be very interesting. Should be, yeah. So Brother Vaughn, come on back. We're gonna get Brother Clarence. We're gonna get Mr. He said. I want Von Eric. I really want to hear Von Eric's perspective. Again, and if I got a Brother Brian, you said you had to pray before you came back for part 2. That's cool. Again, I take no offense. Every conversation is not for everybody at every time. You don't see me in every space. You don't see me on a lot of people's channels in the chats. You don't see me up on people's panels. Everything's not for everybody, and that's okay, including me. I take no offense to somebody saying I can't handle Rashawn's energy today, or I can't handle Rashawn's energy ever. It just ain't for me. No skin off my back. You know what I'm saying? So I know if you don't want to do part 2 because of the way part 1 went or because of the topic, I totally respect the decision. So I don't want anybody to feel pressured because I've said it and I've shouted your name publicly. Please feel no pressure. Make the best decision for you and how you feel about it. Because I know it's a topic that people are sensitive to. I understand that. I completely understand that. But I have to approach it with the way I believe I have to be honest about it. Like there's a level of honesty I have to have. And just to clarify really quickly, I wouldn't kill Jesus because I have a problem with Jesus. I don't even believe in Jesus or that he necessarily existed. So in my mind, I'm killing Spider-Man or Harry Potter. So from my perspective, I'm talking about a comic book character that doesn't exist with a time machine that doesn't exist. So all of it is make-believe. So in my mind, it's like, how can anybody get offended over make-believe? But I also understand that Jesus is extremely real to a lot of people. He's probably the most real thing to a good portion of Americans, especially Black ones, who I think 82%, I think, cite themselves as Christian. I think they're the highest demographic group that says that they're Christian is black people in the United States. So I get it. I get that Jesus is so real to some people. They got songs about it. He's real. He's real. Jesus is real to me. Oh, yeah. Gave me the victory. I get it. Y'all sing it. It's rehearsed. It's said. It's stated. It's sung. It's danced. It's hands. It's everything. I get it. It's every moment of every day. People read it. They breathe it. They talk it. I get that he becomes synonymous with self to somebody that feels like they surrendered themselves over to Jesus. I understand, and I don't intend to take that lightly. But I have to take my thought experiment seriously. And if anybody needs to not partake in that, I get it. I can understand how that could be offensive. I can understand how I can understand how somebody could be hurt. I can understand how somebody would feel that it was disrespectful. But Jesus sat down with all types. Jesus talked to people that disagreed with him. He talked them into believing in what he believed in or didn't. And he felt no ways about it. The one thing he did do was when people did things in the name of God that were against the name of God, he overturned the tables and whipped people. So when I say all those things were done in the name of God / Jesus, and I don't see that Christians overturned the tables and whipped the Crusaders. They didn't whip the Spanish Inquisitors. They didn't whip the people that came to the new land. They didn't whip all the people that civilized the savages. They didn't turn over the tables for them. They don't look like Jesus to me. That's where my premise comes from. So if the people that say they love and live Jesus don't show me what Jesus did, I can't take it too seriously within myself. That's how I got to, I would just yeet Jesus, because he didn't manifest the outcomes in his believers that should have been there. Jesus was a rebel. Jesus was a seditious. Jesus was subversive. Jesus was in and out of town, sneaking in and out, saying, speaking, preaching, healing on the Sabbath, feeding on the Sabbath, running. When they was trying to kill him, he ran. If you read the Bible, that dude ran for his life several times before they got him. He ran from the ops. That was Jesus. He was like a Black Panther, but Jewish Panther. I don't know. Anyway, y'all get what I'm saying, man. Jesus was a radical figure. He, on both sides, because he was against the Roman occupation, but he was also against the acceptance that the Jewish people had fallen under of just practicing a piece of religion in captivity. Like it's a weird dynamic to be against everybody, but that's kind of what you're not radical or revolutionary if you have a large group of people that agree with you. So I mean that's also a weird concept to think that everybody's supposed to agree with you, but I got a radical idea. I'm doing something different, but everybody's got to agree with me. Do they? That's not even what the Bible says. You're supposed to be going through the narrow gate, not the wide one. It's not about Jesus, though. For me, it's about people serving themselves. They want to be God in their lives, not follow Jesus, but follow me. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So yeah, that's where I'm at, y'all. That's how I got to that premise, because I couldn't see Jesus in the people that said Jesus. So killing Jesus is not a punishment for him for anything he's done. Killing Jesus is a punishment for everybody else's failures. If everybody, like the rotten apple spoils the bunch, if all the apples are rotten. But again, that's from somebody that's not Christian. Please always couch that. This is somebody who has gone away from Christianity, which what the Bible would tell you, if you're not for God, you're for the devil. I'm for the streets. So understand that when I'm talking about topics, I'm for the biblical streets. Like I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm not with the God team. So I'm not with the Jesus team. So you have to frame that. I'm not speaking from a place of godly righteousness according to the Bible. So, I mean, I just want everybody to be well versed in what when you come here, I'm going to be open to any perspective. If a Satanist came up here and wanted to discuss what Satanism was, I would hear them out. I probably wouldn't sacrifice a goat or whatever they do. I don't know. I've never spoken to a Satanist, but I would hear them out. And I'd ask them, why do you believe in Satan, but not God, when Satan's a figure in the Bible? So how can you pick him out and then make him your Lord? That's kind of weird anyway. But I've got questions for everybody: Satanists, atheists, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists. I got questions for everybody. And I would trigger anybody because I don't 100% believe anything, but I'm open to listening. And that's the only thing I would ask any of y'all to do. Any and every one of y'all to be open to listen, because you can't learn if you're not listening. And if it doesn't challenge you, you can't grow. If there's no challenge, if there's no resistance, there's no way for you to grow at all. Like, who's ever grown healthier or stronger from doing absolutely nothing? You don't. You can rest and recover, but you can't grow. You can't gain strength from doing nothing. You atrophy if you do nothing. So if you never face challenge, if you never face resistance, whatever muscle it is, whether it's your mental muscle, your emotional muscle. So all these people that just have not had relationships, like Yella mentioned the manosphere space, all these people that haven't had relationships in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, talking about I'm going to get married soon, they're atrophied because they haven't had relationship. They haven't practiced that. All of your muscles need practice. They need the repetition, all of them. So even the challenge, like me and Brother Brian, that challenge we had will make both of us a little stronger, because I couldn't in real time clarify and articulate what I was feeling that I wanted to get from him. So I had to think within myself. That made me stronger. Okay, this is what made me feel. This is what made me think. I had to reflect. I got stronger because of that. I would hope that he did too. Okay, I saw this happen and I felt this. Okay, next time, or maybe I don't want to involve myself in it. Either way, there's a growth there because of the challenge. So I would say people don't run away from challenge, because that's what makes us stronger. All the things that people give me compliments on is from me constantly being a place of having my thoughts and feelings challenged, questioned. And I had to learn to be able to stand up for them on my own. I believe what I believe. I feel what I feel. I was able to teach Sunday school in a Christian church as a non-Christian because I studied and stood on whatever I believe in. I believe in some of these principles. I believe that there's a lot of value to the things in the Bible. I respect and regard highly the Bible, so much so that if people use the Lord's name in vain, it bothers me. It bothers me. So, it is what it is. And so you say you are a believer that caused my people to stumble. Man, William Shakespeare got them running crazy out here. Man. But yeah, let me roll out. I'm going to get started on the time stamping. I will see y'all tomorrow, 5 p.m. is my full intention. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. So look out for a thumbnail. I'll try to make sure I was about to say it's not too triggering. Nah, I gotta.
It ain't gonna not be triggering.
Yeah, I got to. I gotta be a little ignorant. My troll, and this is why, y'all. I be letting y'all into me, Rashawn. That's pause.
The huge pause.
I share my thoughts with you guys. Share my thoughts with you all. Y'all haven't seen me in a lot of chats, so I haven't been getting my troll off. I have not been getting my troll off. That's where the thumbnails have been coming from, because that energy, that playful kind of like antagonistic energy hasn't gone anywhere. So it's been going into the thumbnails in today's title. That's where this is coming from. So that troll energy, I know Quantum was in here the other day talking about troll God Daddy. I haven't been able to troll lately. So that's why you're seeing it come out in the thumbnails and the topic and the title, because, man, I have not been able to put that into the universe. And I think y'all need it sometimes. Y'all need a little salt and spice. But anyway, that's all. That's it. Yella, any last words?
Bye.
Yeet. Go ahead.
Bye.
All right, y'all. I will catch y'all later. So that ain't the little last frame that y'all see us, man. I know that's annoying. My favorite, man. This is my favorite thing lately. I don't even know why.
When there's an emotional rift, because this person attaches love to their physical being, their physical body, they don't want to be touched by you if they're offended. Snoop Dogg taught us that. He said there ain't no loving good enough to give her while I'm offended.
Chill for a minute, cause ain't no loving good enough to get burned while I'm offended. Yeah.